my name is Crystal Snyder, and I am one of the Student Success Navigators with the Office of Adult and Traditional Enrollment. I have been with the college for 6 years now, and prior to this role, I was a financial aid advisor. Because of my background with financial aid, I wanted to take a few moments to talk with you about paying for college. There are several different ways to pay for college, which include using federal student aid as determined by the free application for federal student aid, also known as the FAFSA, which covers federal grants, federal student loans, and federal work study. There are private student loans, scholarships, payment plans, employer-paid tuition assistance, veterans benefits. I also want to take a moment to remind students to review our important dates calendar, as some of these dates may affect your bill. So what is the FAFSA? FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. This application is completed at www.studentaid.gov/FAFSA and uses students, as well as a spouse and/or parents' tax and income information, as well as household size, to determine a student's financial need. For the 2023-2024 application, you will want to use your 2021 tax and income information. For the 2024-2025 application, you will use your 2022 tax and income information. This application is typically available October 1st every year. However, due to some upcoming changes as part of the FAFSA Simplification Act, the application for the 2024-2025 academic year will be slightly delayed this year. When completing this application, it is helpful to use Rhodes State's federal school code to identify Rhodes as the school you'd like to receive your information. Our school code is 010027. One important thing to note for our young adult students: the U.S. Department of Education considers students to be dependent of their parent until they either reach the age of 24, get married, or have children of their own in which the student provides more than 50% of the support for. So for our young adults, even if you no longer live with your parents, you may need to still list them on your FAFSA. If you have questions about this application, please feel free to contact our financial aid office at 419-995-8802 or via email at finaid@rhodesstate.edu. Our financial aid specialists offer FAFSA completion appointments where they'll walk you through the FAFSA line by line to hopefully make this process as easy as possible for students. As I mentioned before, federal student aid determined by the FAFSA consists of federal grants, federal direct student loans, and the federal work study program. Once your FAFSA is received by the Rhodes State Financial Aid Office, students will receive a notification to their Rhodes State email with either an official award notification indicating grant funding eligibility, a request for additional documentation if an application is selected for the FAFSA verification process, or a notification letting you know that you were not eligible for grants but may still be eligible for federal direct student loans. Grant funding. So what is grant funding? Grant funding consists of Pell Grant and the Federal Secondary Education Opportunity Grant, or as we refer to it, the FSEOG. These grants are considered need-based, which means the student has a higher financial need as determined by the FAFSA, and the funding for these would not need to be repaid. Our financial aid office will automatically award any of this funding based upon your enrollment. Federal Work Study. The Federal Work Study program is a program designed for students to work on campus within college offices, and they earn a biweekly paycheck to help supplement their income while they're attending classes. Students interested in this program will still need to apply for open positions, interview, and then be hired by one of our departments or offices. But this opportunity allows students to gain real-world experience, earn valuable references, and establish many friendships. Federal Direct Student Loans. Federal Direct Student Loans are available to students that complete and finalize a FAFSA, and they offer many benefits to borrowers that may not be offered through private lenders. With Federal Direct Student Loans, a borrower will not need a cosigner or guarantor and will not need to make payments on their loans while they're enrolled at least half-time, which is 6 credit hours or more each semester. Federal Direct Student Loans will also offer borrowers flexibility by allowing a 6-month grace period after a student graduates or falls below the half-time status. So the student has time to then find work and prepare to enter the repayment phase. Additionally, these loans offer a variety of repayment options to help students stay on track with repayment. There are 2 types of Federal Direct Student Loans, subsidized and unsubsidized. The subsidized student loans are considered need-based and do not accrue interest while the student is continually enrolled in college at least half-time. There is an annual limit of $3,500 that a student can borrow each academic year of subsidized funding. The unsubsidized student loans are available to everyone with a completed and finalized FAFSA on file. However, this type of funding will begin accruing interest as soon as the student borrows the funds. There is an aggregate annual limit of $5,500 for dependent students and $9,500 for independent students for both the sub and unsub student loans. Parent Plus loans. For students who may need additional financial assistance, parents are able to request Parent Plus loans at www.studentaid.gov/plus-app. This type of loan is taken out in the parent's name and does require a credit check. Additionally, the student must have a finalized FAFSA on file with the school. A benefit of these loans for parents is that they can request a deferment on payments while the student is in school. Private student loans. Students that need additional assistance with education-related expenses can apply for private student loans. These loans will usually require a credit check, typically require a cosigner or guarantor, and usually have a higher interest rate than the Federal Direct Student Loans. Additionally, the lender may not allow for an in-school deferment or a grace period before the student needs to begin paying back the loan. If a student is still interested, we recommend that they reach out to their primary financial institution first to see if they offer student loans. A couple of lenders that we see more often here at Rhodes are Sallie Mae, LendKey, and Campus Door. Scholarships. Rhodes State offers several internal scholarships. One type of internal scholarship is our foundation scholarships, which are funded by our generous donors. Students can complete one single application and it will apply them to all of the foundation scholarships in which they are eligible for. The application opens the 1st of August each year for the next academic year. So August 1st this year, the application will open for the 2024-2025 academic year. Students will need to use their Rhodes State email address to log into the application. There are over 70 scholarships and the average award is around $1,000 per academic year. For the 2023-2024 academic year, over $215,000 was awarded to Rhodes students. Another type of internal scholarship is our institutional scholarship. These scholarships are awarded on a first-come, first-served basis if a student meets all eligibility and registration requirements. A couple of examples of institutional scholarships are our College Credit Plus scholarship, which is a $1,000 award for full-time enrollment to students who previously completed CCP courses with us while in high school. Another example is the Rhodes Presidential Scholarship, which is available to new high school graduates with a 3.0 GPA or higher and an ACT score ranging between 19 and 29 or higher. Rhodes State also offers state-funded internal scholarships like the Choose Ohio First Scholarship and the Short-Term Certificate Scholarship. The Choose Ohio First Scholarship is automatically awarded by the Financial Aid Office based upon eligibility and program, specifically programs meeting the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine criteria. The Short-Term Certificate Scholarship is available to help with shorter-term certificate completion for in-demand fields. This scholarship does require an application, but is incredibly helpful, especially if the program is not financial aid eligible. Students can also apply for and receive external scholarships, as there are many opportunities outside of Rhodes State. Students can find links to several opportunities and scholarship search engines on our scholarship page on the Rhodes State website. We also recommend students check with their employer, parents' employer, and local organizations such as the American Legion to see what opportunities might be available. One thing that students do need to remember when applying for scholarships outside of Rhodes State is that applications should never cost anything more than a postage stamp to mail in the application. Payments and payment arrangements. If you're not planning to use financial aid, or your financial aid award is not enough to cover your semester balance, you can make payments or set up payment arrangements in your STARS Online account. Log into STARS, then select Student Services, then Account Summary and Make Payment Online, and then select Make Payment Online. If you do need more time to pay the balance due, you can scroll to the bottom of the page of the Make Payment Online screen and then select Alternate Payment Options. There is a small fee of $25 for payment plan setup. Students should also be aware that our servicer, CashNet, does charge a small transaction fee for payments using credit or debit cards. Students can avoid this transaction fee by using the electronic funds transfer option, which allows them to pull the funds directly from a checking or savings account. Questions on balances due and/or payments or payment plans should be directed to the business office. They can be reached via phone at 419-995-8473 or via email at cashier@rhodesstate.edu. Employer-paid tuition assistance or reimbursement. Students whose employers are assisting with education expenses should consult with their employer's Human Resources Office to determine the employer's requirements. Some employers will pay the college directly prior to the start of the term. Some will pay the college directly after the student has successfully completed the term, and some employers will reimburse the student directly. If your employer is intending to pay the college directly following successful completion of a term, we recommend the student connect with the business office to complete a corporate reimbursement and tuition deferment form. Veterans benefits. Students using Veterans Education Benefits will want to connect with our VA school certifying official, Mr. Jeff Engel, to submit the necessary eligibility documents and ensure coverage. Jeff can be found in the financial aid office. His direct phone number is area code 419-993-7408, and he can also be reached via email at engle, engle.j@rhodesstate.edu. Students receiving the War Orphans Scholarship should connect with Stephanie Wilgus in our financial aid office. Stephanie can be reached at area code 419-995-8003 or via email at wilgus, wilgus.s@rhodesstate.edu. Students receiving the National Guard Scholarship should contact our business office. Again, their phone number is area code 419-995-8473, and their email address is cashier@rhodesstate.edu. Important dates regarding your bill. All tuition and fees will be due by 5 p.m. on the first day of the semester to prevent a $50 late fee. Students with payment plans set up or finalized financial aid packages will not be assessed late fees. Students can drop courses through the first Friday of the semester and not be charged tuition and fees for the courses dropped. After that, students can still drop courses through the second Friday and receive a 50% refund on any tuition and fees for the courses dropped. After the second Friday of the semester, students can still drop courses, but they will be charged 100% of the tuition and fees associated with the courses. If you do need to drop courses after the first 2 weeks of the semester, we strongly encourage you to speak with a financial aid office to see how the drop may affect the current semester financial aid award or future financial aid eligibility. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and explore all of the options available for paying for college. If you have questions about any of the information covered today, please feel free to stop by the Admissions and Financial Aid Office in Suite 148 of the Public Service Building, or you can reach financial aid directly at area code 419-995-8802 or me directly at area code 419-995-8041.